Hey, what's good, y'all? 574 Brando back with another video. Man, today's video, well, the playoffs are coming up. They're about like a month away right now, and I think I'm gonna try. Well, I think I'm gonna break down each playoff team. Well, you know, each playoff team, East and West. Do like a little video on them. Give like my takes about them. Like how do I think they done this year? You know, so far, so forth, and yeah, man. But before I do any of that, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe to Couples channel, KRDN. It's gonna pop up somewhere on the screen. Subscribe to K Rochelle, my girls. Subscribe to her channel if you want music takes. It's gonna pop up somewhere, and I think that's it. But yeah, man, because the playoffs are starting. The East is kind of shaping out. The West, it's only but like 2 teams who are really, well, I guess 3 teams who are really kind of safe right now. They're not gonna fall in the play-in. One of the teams I'm gonna do today is the Sacramento Kings, man. Like the beam, man. The Kings, they haven't made the playoffs since '06. So basically, ever since I've really been watching basketball, they haven't been on nothing. They've been poverty. They've been a poverty franchise for 16 years now, 17 years. Well, 16, because this year, they're one of the best teams in the league, man. Number 2 in the West, 39-26, as I'm recording this video on Saturday. Man. 2nd seed in the West, best offensive team in the league, man. I mean, you haven't been watching the Kings. First of all, De'Aaron Fox, all-star season, all-NBA. He could be an all-NBA guard. All-NBA is tricky, 6 spots for like so many good guards in the league, but he has to be in consideration for one of those spots. They got Domantas Sabonis, one of the most underrated bigs in the league. Me personally, I know everyone loves Jokic. He's kind of like a Jokic, minus the shooting, minus all the full court passes, but man, he can do. Oh, he can give you a triple-double, man. He's a big, he crashes the glass. He's a good playmaker out of like the post and the elbow area. He sees the court very well. His shooting is a little inconsistent, but I don't know. I wish he kind of shot it more because he has a shot. He has a nice shot, so I really wish he would just shoot it more. But man, he's been really good. We all know the Halliburton trade last year that had got them Sabonis. The trade was Sacramento sending Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson to Indiana for Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday in 2027, a 2nd-round pick. That was the trade. It's crazy because I remember at that time, Twitter was freaking out. Everybody was freaking out that the Kings just gave up Halliburton for Sabonis. I think people, they love the idea of Halliburton. I mean, I'm a Pacer fan. I love Halliburton. But I mean, at the time, really wasn't that bad of a trade because you got to consider the Kings. They had De'Aaron Fox, they drafted Halliburton, then they drafted Davion Mitchell. They had 3 guards. All 3 of those guards not gonna play. They're not gonna play together. Even if they do, they won't be like a winning team for real. So they had to give up one of those guards. I thought they was gonna give up De'Aaron. I mean, I'm kind of glad they didn't. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, he has been very underrated for a couple years now. And I only watch college ball, but man, I remember seeing him at Kentucky, man. Him, Malik Monk, I mean, the team is now, and Bam Adebayo. Excuse me. With the Heat, like, De'Aaron Fox is that guy, man. I mean, he is that guy. Like I said, all-star, all-NBA caliber player. But yeah, it was a very good trade. Now looking back on it, it's pretty fair for both teams. The Pacers are happy. The Kings are happy. It's a fair trade, man. But yeah. Okay. So my biggest surprise for the Kings this year is Mike Brown. Mike Brown, he's coach of the year. No one expected the Kings to be this good, but me personally, Mike Brown, he's always been known as a defensive coach. He always has been known as a defensive coach. Coached the Cavs. Well, he's been an assistant for a while. Then he was coaching the Cavs around like 05, 06, I think. Then he coached them. He was the Lakers coach for for the, it was the 2011-2012 season. Then he coached that whole season, I do believe, and he coached at the beginning of the 2012-2013 season when they had Kobe, Nash, and Howard. He got fired after like a couple games because, I mean, it's always the coaches who get let go first. But yeah, he got let go. Mike D'Antoni came, and you know the rest was history. But Mike Brown, then he was assistant on the Warriors. I think that kind of helped him, you know, get this offensive like philosophy into this game, because he mainly was a defensive coach. But like, I thought they would be a good defensive team, but man, their offense is clicking. As I said, best offense in the league, all because of Mike Brown. He used whatever he learned at Golden State to bring to Sacramento as a, you know, dribble handoffs, to get Herder, Malik Monk open. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, he's just doing his thing. Clutch player of the year is De'Aaron Fox. There's no question. But yeah, man, I thought they would be a real good defensive team. They probably like still one of the worst defensive, like bottom five defensive team in the league. So yeah, man. I'm surprised by Mike Brown and his coaching. Coach of the year, like I said. And Chimezie Metu. Like, he has been a surprise to me. I mean, I heard of him. I've seen him play last year. I mean, he gives out like a lot of hustle, man. A lot of hustle. He doesn't give up on no plays. He can shoot a little bit, attacks the boards. Oh, very solid player, man. But that brings to my biggest disappointment of the Kings. Richaun Holmes, man. He has been very disappointing to me. I thought coming into the year, I think he could have, like, I thought he could have been a very solid backup big. Big disappointment is Richaun Holmes. Like, coming into the year, I thought he could be a very good backup center. I mean, last year he averaged 10.7 rebounds. I mean, that was, well, obviously before Sabonis got there, but now this year he's only averaging 3 points and 2 rebounds. Like, I don't know. I expected more out of him, but I mean, I guess when he's playing, I mean, defenses do like kind of attack him, you know, off pick and rolls. He's dropping. I mean, teams are just attacking him whenever he's on the court. So, I mean, that's why Chimezie Metu has been playing over him, because I don't know, he's a better defender. Like, not around like the paint, but you know, just on the perimeter and stuff. So, yeah, Richaun Holmes has been disappointing. I hope he can figure out a role, or, you know, just get moved to a better, or just get moved to a different team. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Can barely talk, but my biggest X factor for the Kings is, don't mind my dog, she's a little sleepy. My biggest X factor for the Kings is my boy Malik Monk. Love Malik Monk, man. He's found a home, though. I'm happy he found a home in Sacramento with his boy De'Aaron Fox. I loved him on the Lakers last year. I'm just disappointed we couldn't re-sign him because we didn't have no money with AD, Brown, and Russ, but that's a whole different story. But he's an X factor for the Kings because he's having a very solid year. I mean, like, when he's on, like when he's hitting his threes, when he's attacking the rim, when he's doing, you know, all the Malik Monk things, like, man, like they are a completely different team for real when he's playing really well. But when he's missing and he's in a funk, their bench unit just kind of plummets a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's a big X factor because, like, when he's on, like in the game against the Clippers, like it was a couple weeks ago against the Clippers, 176-175 in that double overtime win. Like, man, he had 41. 15 for 24 shooting, 6 for 12 from 3. Hit the big 3 that Westbrook lost where he was at on that play. But man, when he's on, man, like they are a completely different team. When him and Herder are both hitting shots, like, man, they are really scary. Like, that's a good recipe for a playoff team. Like, you know, when the defense is really locked in. See Sasha. But yeah, when the defense is really locked in, you know, like, you need shooting. You need shooting in different areas, especially like off the 3 or in the mid-range. Like, teams aren't going to give up paint points like how they do in the regular season. So, yeah, man. Malik Monk is a big X factor for them. And my playoff expectations for the Kings. I mean, they are a very good offensive team, like I said, best offensive team in the league. But man, it's their defense. They really can't stop anybody. Like, I got some stats. Like, they get killed in a lot of different areas. At the rim, teams are shooting 33%. I mean, that's not bad, but it's not bad, but it can get better. But it's Sabonis guarding around, and it's Harrison Barnes. Like, they don't have like a real shot blocker. That's why I thought Richaun Holmes, back to my biggest disappointment, I thought he would kind of help out. I mean, he's a pretty decent shot blocker, so I thought he would do a little something, but he's barely playing, and when he's playing, he's a negative. So, but yeah, they're shooting 33% at the rim. Short mid, 22%, which isn't bad. Long mid-range shots, teams are shooting 9%, which is pretty good. All mid-range combined 32%, which isn't that good. And yeah. So they got them in their threes. They're giving up like almost 30% from three all around. So in the playoffs, they're gonna have to figure out what to give a team. They can't give a team all three of those things. They can at least take away one of those things, depending on their matchup in the playoffs for a team. Like, they give up, like they really lock in on the 3-point shooting. Like, they tell teams like, hey, we're not gonna let y'all bomb away from three. Like, that's actually a good recipe for them. Like, that's actually a very good recipe for them. So yeah, man, they go out to give teams one or the other. And yeah, but all in all, I'm very excited to see the Kings in the playoffs, especially De'Aaron Fox. I'm very excited to see him in a playoff environment. I mean, the only people on their team who have been in the playoffs is Sabonis and Harrison Barnes. And Harrison Barnes is the only champion on that team. So, man, I'm just happy to see them get some playoff experience. I really hope they go up against a very competitive team. I don't know. I hope they don't see the Suns or, I mean, my Lakers are rising. But that would be a very fun playoff series between them and the Lakers. But I really hope they get a very good playoff opponent. And man, I'm excited for the Kings, man. Like the beam. De'Aaron Fox, Monk, Sabonis. So I'm excited for them. Playoffs should be fun for them. And they breaking their streak. 16 years out of the playoffs, man. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm 24, so the last time they made the playoffs, I was like 8. Like, that's crazy to think about, man. But yeah, man. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like the content so far, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, go subscribe to the other channels I shouted out before. The links will be down below in the description. Yeah, man, I'll be back with another team to break down. So yeah.